as the last remnants of sunlight faded from the desolate planet's horizon. A low hum filled the air. It was a frequency only the most attuned could detect, the signature buzz of the psychic storm. Commander Aaron Vex gazed out at the swirling clouds of purple and silver, her eyes squinting against the intense energy emanating from the storm's epicenter. Her squad, the Space Orcs, stood rigidly beside her, their chiseled faces a testament to their unforgiving environment. "Report, Lieutenant," Erin said, her voice crisp and commanding. Lieutenant Kale, his cybernetic arm gleaming in the fading light, stepped forward. "Ma'am, we're detecting anomalous energy signatures within the storm. It's like nothing I've seen before." Aaron's eyes narrowed. What kind of anomaly? Kale consulted his datapad. It appears to be a rogue agent, possibly multiple. Their energy patterns are erratic and unpredictable. The Space Orcs exchanged worried glances. Rogue agents were the bane of their existence, autonomous entities that could manipulate the very fabric of space. Time. Aaron's grip on her plasma rifle tightened. We need to identify these agents and eliminate them before they disrupt the psychic storm's natural balance. Okay. Elle nodded. "I'm already working on pinpointing their locations, my am. But we'll need to move quickly, this close to the storm. Even minor disruptions can have catastrophic consequences." Erin's gaze drifted back to the churning clouds. The psychic storm was a rare and precious phenomenon, capable of recharging the planet's depleted energy reserves. It was also a beacon for rogue agents seeking to exploit its power. "One move out in 5 minutes," Aaron ordered. "Prepare for combat. We will not let these agents threaten our home." The Space Orcs responded with a chorus of grunts and nods, their eyes burning with determination. As one, they readied themselves for the challenge ahead. "Let's do this," Aaron said, her voice low and deadly. The hum of the psychic storm grew louder, its energy coursing through the air like an electric current. The Space Orcs prepared to face whatever threats lay within, knowing that their very existence depended on protecting the delicate balance of this fragile ecosystem. Aaron's squad moved out in a swift and silent formation, their footsteps light on the barren ground as they approached the psychic storm's epicenter. Kale led the way, his cybernetic arm pulsing with data streams that mapped the energy anomalies within. As they drew closer, the air grew thick with an otherworldly pressure. The Space Orcs' armor plates hummed in harmony with the storm's frequency, their senses heightened to detect any signs of rogue agents. Suddenly, a burst of blue light erupted from the clouds, casting an ethereal glow across the desolate landscape. Aaron's squad halted, their eyes fixed on the shimmering spectacle. "What's that?" Aaron asked, her voice low and cautious. Kale consulted his datapod. "It looks like one of the rogue agents, a humanoid entity with some kind of energy shield. The blue light coalesced into a figure, its features indistinct due to the swirling clouds. The space orcs formed a semicircle around Aaron, their plasma rifles at the ready. "Keep your eyes open," Aaron warned. "We don't know what other tricks these agents have up their sleeves." The blue-clad entity raised its hands, and the air seemed to ripple with an unseen force. The space orcs' armor plates flexed in response, their advanced sensors detecting the subtle distortions. Aaron's grip on her rifle tightened. "Wait for my signal. We don't want to give these agents any more leverage." The blue entity began to move towards them, its pace deliberate and measured. Kale tracked its energy signature with his cybernetic arm. "It's not alone," he warned Aaron. "I'm picking up multiple signatures within the storm, possibly a network of rogue agents." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "Keep your eyes on that blue one. We'll deal with the others as they become a threat." The space orcs held their positions, their senses straining to detect any signs of additional threats. The psychic storm raged on, its energy building towards a crescendo that would determine the fate of this fragile ecosystem. "Wait for my signal," Aaron repeated. "Let's not give these agents an opening." As the countdown began, Aaron's gaze locked onto the swirling clouds, her mind racing with strategies and worst-case scenarios. The psychic energy crackled around them like a live wire, making every molecule in the air feel alive. "All right, people," she barked. "Let's move out. Kale, keep me posted on those agents' movements. We'll fan out and surround them." The space orcs sprang into action, their heavy boots thundering across the desolate terrain. Aaron led the charge, her plasma rifle at the ready as they fanned out in a wide arc around the psychic storm. Cal's voice crackled over the comm system, his words laced with urgency. "Mom, I've got multiple contacts 5, 6. It's hard to tell. They're moving fast, but I can track them." Aaron's eyes darted across the horizon, her trained instincts screaming warnings about potential ambushes. "Keep me posted on their positions," she ordered. Lieutenant Thrain, his grizzled face set in a scowl, took point position, his cybernetic arm gleaming with an eerie blue light. He led the advance party deeper into the storm's churning clouds. As they approached the agent's suspected location, the air grew thick with tension. The psychic energy pulsed like a living thing, making every step feel like a calculated gamble. Suddenly, Kale's voice cut through the comm system again. "Mom, I've got visual contact, multiple targets, moving fast. And they're getting closer." Aaron's grip on her plasma rifle tightened as she sprinted forward to join Thrain's advance party. The air was electric with anticipation. It was time to face whatever threats lurked within the psychic storm. "Take point, Thrain," Aaron barked, her voice barely audible over the hum of the storm. "We'll take them down from here." Thrain nodded curtly as he led the charge, his cybernetic arm glowing brighter with each step. The space orcs fanned out behind him, their eyes locked onto the swirling clouds as they prepared to face whatever lay within. Aaron's squad moved swiftly across the desolate terrain, their plasma rifles at the ready. Kale led the way, his cybernetic arm guiding them through the turbulent energy fields. The psychic storm raged ahead, its purple and silver clouds crackling with electricity. As they approached the epicenter of the storm, the air grew thick with an otherworldly presence. Aaron's instincts screamed warning, but she pushed on, her grip tightening on her rifle. Suddenly, a blast of energy hurled them off balance. The space orcs stumbled, their footing uncertain in the turbulent terrain. Kale's arm flailed wildly as he struggled to maintain his footing. Aaron regained hers quickly, her eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of the rogue agents. A faint glow appeared on the perimeter of the storm, a group of energy entities, each one crackling with power. "Take cover," Aaron yelled, her voice carrying above the din of the storm. The space orc scrambled to find shelter behind nearby rocks and outcroppings. Kel's arm flickered with data as he analyzed the rogue agent's movements. "Ma'am, I'm reading multiple targets, at least 5. Aaron nodded grimly. "Give me a firing solution on the nearest one." Kale complied, feeding the information to Aaron's rifle. She took aim, her finger tightening on the trigger. A blast of energy shot forth, striking the rogue agent with precision. The entity disintegrated in a burst of sparks and smoke. The remaining agents redoubled their efforts, unleashing a maelstrom of energy attacks. The space orcs returned fire, their plasma rifles blazing as they weathered the storm's fury. Aaron stood firm, her rifle firing on autopilot, as she assessed the situation. The rogue agents were relentless, but the space orcs held their ground. In a burst of insight, Kal realized the anomaly. These agents weren't acting alone. A central entity controlled them, feeding off the psychic storm's energy to amplify its power. Aaron's eyes locked onto the controlling agent, her gaze burning with determination. "Take out the commander, and we'll disable their entire operation." With a calculated strike, Aaron eliminated the central entity. The rogue agents collapsed, their energy dissipating into the storm. As the psychic storm raged on, the space orcs regrouped, their breathing heavy but triumphant. Aaron surveyed the aftermath, her eyes squinting against the intense energy, still emanating from the storm's heart. The mission was complete, the rogue agents neutralized, and the psychic storm's balance restored. The planet's energy reserves would now recharge, revitalizing its ecosystem. Aaron turned to Kale, her voice low and measured. Time to return to base and debrief. We've got a report to file, and maybe some questions to answer about these rogue agents. Doc Hale nodded, his cybernetic arm humming with data. I'll get started on the analysis. Ma'am, this might not be over yet. As the space orcs began their retreat, the psychic storm's energy surged anew, its purple and silver clouds crackling with an ominous intensity. The planet's secrets still lurked beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered by Erin and her squad.